Welcome everybody to New Hampshire Motor Speedway here on iRacing. My name's Josh Hall. We're here with the SCSRA Fortuna Iron Truck Series. And right now we got qualifying just starting up. Sorry for the little bit of a late start. Had some issues on my end, but got them all worked out and we're ready to do some racing here at one of my favorite tracks, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Thanks for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. We do appreciate you hanging out with us here tonight. We look forward to a great race here at the Magic Mile. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, again, one of my favorite tracks, just about 2 hours from me. So I do consider this my home track. It is a tricky track. As you can see, it's very, very flat. Well, right along here with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence as he comes off the corner. You can see just how flat this track really is. And that makes it incredibly tricky. 2 degrees of banking down on that yellow line, up to 7 degrees up against the wall, so about a 12% grade. Not a lot of banking to really hold that truck down into the track. And another unique part about this track is the asphalt itself. It's a mixture of asphalt and granite. New Hampshire being the granite state, so that's mixed in there. That makes the track very abrasive and wears out that right front tire very quickly. So you'll be seeing these drivers slip slide around all night long. Brakes are going to be a premium here. Tires are going to be a premium. And it's going to be a great race here as we see David Hartney, the Austin, Texas native, who's been through a little weather. They're having some weather down there. And there's a big line of storms stretching from Texas all the way up to Minnesota. So we do ask if anybody's watching in those areas or racing from those areas, be safe. We are thinking about you. Speaking of hometowns, Westport, Mass's Eli Raposa up there. Another not too far from this track. Currently up into the second position in qualifying so far. As Stephen Black jumps up to the provisional pole. And Devin Butchino, currently up into that second position. This track is a mile long, but it does run a bit like a road course as we ride along with Stephen here. Comes across the line, that's going to do it for him. Let's run along with Brian Nudie here. I know he loves this track. This is one of his favorite tracks. From Santa Rosa, California, Grandma Hagerman's 7th favorite driver. Hear him downshifting down the third. We'll hear that a lot tonight. A lot of these drivers are going to do some shifting here, which makes getting off the corners a little bit better, but also can wear out those rear tires as Brian Nudie jumps to the top of the board. In practice, he was curious how everybody's able to run those fast laps, and he goes out and lays one down, so looks like he's starting to figure it out here. Have Logan Hagerman just coming off of pit road. That'll be Grandma Hagerman's favorite driver. Logan way up the track trying to get some heat in those tires and get that truck wound up. There's really 2 ways to run this track. You can run it kind of high, right up on that right side's right on that seam there where the track gets light and dark. Or you can do what Hagerman just did and kind of diamond the corner. Enter in really, really high, and as you come to the apex of the corner, just turn it down to get the good straight drive off. So be a lot of different lines here. I know last year this race in the truck series, or this track in the truck series, produced some not nice words between a few drivers. I know me and Zach Cox have talked about it since, but me and him got together a couple times in that race, along with Cody Moore and Kyle Mays, along with Devin Butchino and David Wright. So expect for some contact between some drivers here tonight as Hagerman comes off of turn number 4, come across the stripe, and he will stay in that 6th position currently. Eddie Morris out on track. And that Morris Customs machine. A little different paint job than you saw last week. Kind of reversing the colors. I take that back. He did not color swap it. That's the truck he ran last week. I know he had a color swapped version of it. Looks like everybody's made their qualifying attempts. And let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. You see Todd Mays currently your points leader over Eddie Morris, Devin Butchino, Dave Wright, and Brian Newty, your top 5. Brian Merle Jr., Derek Chapu, Craig Schroeder, Michael Lawrence, Bobby Mays, Kyle Mays, and Stephen Black, your top 12. And we say 12 is important because those are the 12 that would be moving into the playoffs. Chino says, I had to bring it up. I did. That's my job, Devin. I have to bring up all that stuff. If I didn't create the drama, then nobody would tune in and watch. Of course, last week we ran our opener at Daytona. This week, New Hampshire. Next week, though, we're going to be running at Darlington, then Sonoma at the road course, Charlotte, Las Vegas, Watkins Glen, another road course, Richmond, and how about this? Some dirt, running some Eldora on May 31st. Nashville Super Speedway, Martinsville, Talladega, Atlanta, Michigan, and Homestead round out the season. And those races with the stars next to them, those are your postseason races. So it's going to be a great season going into the summer. I can't wait to see what comes of it, as we have just a few more minutes left in qualifying. 2 more minutes. Looks like everybody made a lap except for the 19 of Brandon White. Looks like he might be sitting on pit road. Let's take a look here. Nope, he is not sitting on the end of pit road, so looks like we got about a minute and a half left before we get ready for some racing here at New Hampshire. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or Twitch, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight. I'm sorry, we don't do the Twitch anymore, so anybody watching on Facebook or YouTube, we do appreciate you. Don't forget to drop a like, follow, and subscribe if you have not already. And of course, don't forget about the Intensity Broadcasting web store, intensitybroadcasting.com, where you can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads of all your favorite iRacing leagues, as well as Intensity Broadcasting ourselves. It really does help us out. Don't forget, every champion of every league here on Intensity Broadcasting will get a free piece of swag courtesy of Intensity Broadcasting. And we got the trucks here tonight. Let's not forget about Joe's favorite t-shirt, them truck cars. So check that out. And yes, you can tell we do have the new logo on our hats and shirts as well. So check that out, intensitybroadcasting.com. And don't forget to join us here tomorrow night as the SCSRA Xfinity Series will be taking on Texas Motor Speedway. So that'll be another great race tomorrow night as we get ready to take a look at your starting grid. And on pole tonight, the 40 of Brian Canuti, with Stephen Black starting to his outside. Row number 2, the 68 of Devin Butchno with Zachary Cox in the 51. Then we'll find Kyle Mays and Todd Mays sitting back in row number 3. Row 4, we'll find Eddie Morris in the 8 with Logan Hagerman to his outside. A couple Intensity Broadcasting team drivers there. And then in row number 5, rounding out your top 10, the 16 of Nick Mather and the 46 of Eli Raposa. Rolling off 11th is David Hartney with Joseph Wright in that 12th position. 13th, 7th with Brian Merle Jr. in the 74, rolling off in 14th. 15th is Michael Rosenberger with Richard Knight in 16th. Mark Shavers and Derek Chaput back in the 9th row. And then 10th row we'll find Craig Schroeder and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. Michael Provolt, Bobby Mays round out row number 11, and Brandon White rounds out the field here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But again, up front, we've got the 40 of Brian Canuti and the 18 of Stephen Black as we get ready to go racing for 60 laps here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Pace truck is in. Canuti leads them down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. We are here racing for 90 laps here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and a great jump for Canuti down into turn number 1 just behind. We've already got some 2-3 wide racing, almost some contact between Butchino and the 51 of Zach Cox as Kyle Mays was trying to sneak his nose in there as well. Wasn't able to make that run. Now they're side by side for that 3rd position as Butchino runs way up the track. 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Zachary Cox gets the good run through the middle. Kyle Mays, turns Zach right down the front stretch in front of the field. Bunch of drivers involved. And that is going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. We take a look here to see what happened between Kyle Mays and Zachary Cox as they're making their way off of turn number 4. Kyle Mays is way down on the apron. Comes up the track. I think he just kind of misjudged where that 51 machine was going to be. And as he comes back across the track, misses Eddie Morris. Uncle Todd just gets a little piece. Nick Mather, Logan Hagerman, Eli Raposa, Joe Wright gets a little piece of it as well. See Nick Mather goes spinning down to the inside. Everybody else is able to check up. And miss Zach as he gets it back going straight. So a lot of damage to that 51 machine. Joseph Wright on pit road as well. So the lights on the pace car are off. We're going to get them double file yet again. Brian Canuti is going to choose the outside this time. But Stephen Black down on the bottom. And Devin Butchino and Eddie Morris will be in row number 2. Todd Mays and David Hartney will be rolling off 5th and 6th. Kyle Mays falls all the way back to 21st. He did get the EOL for making contact and bringing out that yellow. And that's the way this league runs. If you do bring out the caution, if you make contact and cause the caution to come out, and you claim it, you're given an EOL. If you don't claim it, and it's reviewed afterwards, and you're found that the penalty was, or the incident was your fault, it's a much bigger penalty. As I take it back, Stephen Black was your control car, and if the green flag came out, he took off in a hurry. And now Butchino taking a look down to the inside of Brian Canuti. Now, Devin takes this track to be a bit of a home track for him as well, as he's not too far from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Charging battery.
I do apologize for that. My headset was dying. As they're still side by side off of turn number 4 for that second position. Canuti able to get the good run up on the high side, but here comes Devin fighting back on that low side. And again, that low side is not where you want to be. You're just burning off tires down there as he's trying to clear himself off the corner. Canuti almost makes contact with the wall, but they were able to keep it going straight. Now he's going to tuck back in line behind Canuti and ride around in that third position, where Eddie Morris is trying to take a look at him as well. Mark Shavers take a look down underneath. That is the 66 of Sylvain Seguin. Sylvain too strong up on that high side. Not able to clear that 66 machine. Just behind as well, Logan Hagerman taking a look down to the inside of Bobby Mays. Just not able to clear. And this is the time you want to try to make up positions, is when you have fresh tires, you're able to move your truck forward. Because it's incredibly difficult to pass here, as you've already seen. As we got a little battle behind between Richard Knight and Michael Cheeseburger. And right behind him we see Bobby Mays, Logan Hagerman coming up into the picture as well. Hagerman's taking a look down to the inside of Cheeseburger, and right behind we see the 19 of Brandon White. Try to move his way up through the field as well. So a great battle back here. This is for 11th through 14th. There's 5 trucks right there. You could throw a blanket over it. Almost a little contact between the 19 and the 5 there off of turn number 2. Looks like Brandon White was taking a look down. I'm sorry, it's Bobby Mays taking a look down underneath Brandon White. Try to take away that 13th position. And oh, we got one up in the wall. No caution. But that was the 98 of Richard Knight who was up in the wall. Heavy damage to the right side of that machine. Logan Hagerman has hit, said he hit pit lane, but he did not. He was just running that extreme low line. Let's see if we can see what happened to the 95 here. Sorry, the 98 here. Oh, looks like a little contact between him and Logan Hagerman. Doesn't look like it was that much contact, but it really upset that 98 machine. And he's on a backwards march at the moment. Looks like our top 4 are starting to pull away from the rest of the field. You see a gap back, and then we've got a battle back here between Logan Hagerman, Mark Shavers, and Sylvain Seguin. Shavers is committed to hooking that yellow line. You see Hagerman using that apron a little bit, get the truck to rotate a little bit better off the corner. And last year I know I was running that apron through both corners deep in the run, and it really helped me get that truck to rotate when the truck got tight. And you're seeing Zach Cox behind also running that apron, so it is possible to run down there and find some grip there as well. Derek Chaput taking a look down to the inside of Michael Provolt and that Fortuna iron machine. they're side by side off of turn number 4. Just behind them, see Craig Schroeder, Brian Merle Jr. sitting back here as well. It looks like they're definitely trying to stay clean here and trying to avoid. We've already seen one big one here, so they're just trying to stay out of trouble. New Hampshire has a tendency to have some long green flag runs that really stretch out the field. And then later on in the run, we get a caution that tightens everything right back up. As no caution for this, but Cheeseburger Lawrence around on the front stretch. So we can see what happened to Cheeseburger here. Oh, some contact between him and Sylvan Seguin, and Zachary Cox just misjudges where Cheeseburger was. Not enough contact or not enough angle there to bring out the caution, but we stay green, and Cheesy B back in the 20th position. Now Zachary Cox making his way around Sylvan Seguin. That is for the 11th position. Following suit is the 55 of Kyle Mays, trying to work his way back through the field after that EOL end of longest line penalty for bringing out the first caution. How about this? Brian Nudie, who absolutely hates this track. He's was talking to me about it in the pre-race. Said he wasn't able to figure out this track, wasn't figuring out how these guys are making speed, and look at him staying right here, hanging tight with Stephen Black, just hanging about a half second back. Able to keep time with that 18 machine. As David Hartney and Todd Mays are going side by side, and a little damage to the side of that 9 machine. Looks like Todd's been up into the wall. That's why that 9 truck is sliding backwards. So move Hartney up into the top 5. A little further back, we see Logan Hagerman try to catch the 3 of Michael Rosenberger. Rosenberger's not shifted. You can see the difference that's making through the corner is Hagerman's able to get back to the throttle, but just not able to do anything with that 3 machine. See if Hagerman takes a crossover here off the corner. No, Hagerman's going to go up to the high side here. Going to try to make the pass up there on the high side. Hagerman was slipped up just a little bit, wasn't able to make that move. So he's going to have to work on trying it again. It's one thing that, it looks like Hagerman might have caught the wall just a little bit. Maybe got squeezed up a little bit off the corner. Now Hagerman's going to look back on that high side again. Maybe do a little crossover here down the front stretch. And now he's got that position. Oh, Rosenberger just too strong getting into the corner. This is a great battle here. And this is back for 7th and 8th. Hagerman takes another look down to the inside. I mentioned earlier, it's very hard to pass here, and you can see why. When you're up on the down on the low side, it just bogs down the truck. There's not enough banking to get the throttle down. And when you're up on that high side, you can get a really good run off the corner As Hagerman's got really good position this time down into turn number 3. It's just going to be a battle of who can outbrake who. Hagerman's going to hook that yellow line. He might pull a little slider here to get up in front of the 3, but the 3's going to fight back up on that high side. Hagerman's going to have to go back to work to try to get around this 3 truck. Now it looks like that 7 machine's starting to get a little frustrated with the 3. Knowing that he's faster, but just can't get around. And that's a helpless feeling, as Hagerman's really able to hook that yellow line. And this time, he's going to slide up in front of the 3. Although the 3's going to try to fight back here on the high side. And just behind him, we see Zachary Cox and Mark Shavers having a great battle behind as well that Cox is going to win. Although Shavers going to try looking back underneath Cox here. That 51 machine is showing some speed as well, doing the same thing Hagerman was doing, hooking that yellow line, using that apron to get the truck to turn. Now he's going to get underneath the 3 of Rosenberger. But give Rosenberger credit, he's fighting back hard on that high side. Zach works all the way down to the apron. And Cox is going to slide right up. And now behind we see Mark Shavers and Kyle Mays going at it. So the Mays Mafia trying to get back into it. Todd Mays currently running in the 6th position. Kyle Mays trying to work himself up into the top 10. And Bobby Mays right behind Kyle trying to move himself forward as well. Shavers is now looking down underneath the Rosenberger there, but not able to get the momentum. That's going to allow Kyle Mays to pull around Mark Shavers up on that high side. And now we're 3 wide, almost 3 wide off of turn 2, and Kyle Mays is going to clear Rosenberger. And now Bobby Mays is going to try to get around Mark Shavers, and you got Brandon White right there behind as well. And just behind him, Joseph Wright trying to make his way through the field as well. So see Brandon White getting around Bobby. Here comes Joe taking a look down to the inside. I see a lot of damage to the right side of that 19 machine as he's been up in the wall. And now Logan Hagerman has a battle on his hands here. As they make their way down into turn number 1. Now Hagerman has Cox inside him. Zachary tries to get the run off the corner, but just can't do it. Logan's too strong up on that high side. But he's going to have to give that position to Cox as Kyle Mays now taking a look down to the inside, but not quite there just yet to make the move. And now looks like Cheeseburger had some issues just a couple laps ago. Let's see if we can take a look back, see what happened to the 47 machine. Smacked the wall, took a ride down through John Deere country into the other wall, and able to keep going. So Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence having some issues here tonight as Logan Hagerman has Kyle Mays taking a look down to the inside now. And we've seen it all night long, that bottom lane just not strong enough to get the good run off of, as Kyle Mays really dives hard down into turn at number 3, using that apron to kind of hook and Gonna throw a little slider here in front of Logan Hagerman to move the 55 up into the 8th position. Up front, Stephen Black has almost a 2-second lead over Brian Nudie. As we come off of turn number 4, getting ready to work lap 34 of 90. Again, don't forget to join us tomorrow night as the SCSRA Truck Xfinity Series takes on Texas Motor Speedway. You can find that here live on Intensity Broadcasting starting at 9:30. We'll battle back here out on track as we got another battle on track between the 43 of Hartney and the 68 of Devin Butchino. As the 43 makes his way around Devin Butchino, move the 43 up into the 4th position as they're coming up on the lap truck of Richard Knight. Oh, some contact between the 43 and the 98. That allows Butchino to get right back to the inside. And it looked like the 98 just tried to take out the 43. But he's able to get by Devin Butchino and get back up into that 4th position. Eddie Moore's having a great run tonight. Has that Morris Customs machine up into the 3rd position. Currently up 4 positions from where he started. Having a great run here tonight. Nice to see Eddie after winning last week at Daytona. Having a great run here at New Hampshire as well. Battle on track between Logan Hagerman and the 19 of Brandon White. Brandon White able to get around the 7, but Logan's going to cross him over here down the front stretch. Try to outbrake him into turn number 1. And even though the track is very symmetrical, the track drives completely different. Getting down into turn number 1, to me, feels more difficult than turn number 3 for whatever reason. As the caution is out, it looks like Brian Merle Jr. slow on track. And that's going to bring up our second record rewind of the night. We take a look to see what happened to Brian Merle Jr. Well, it looked like a little bit of wheel hop getting into the corner, and Merle and Joseph Wright get together. A lot of damage to both vehicles right there. They're both able to get rolling. And that's going to bring the entire field down onto pit road. See the race off pit road here is Stephen Black just barely beats out Brian Nudie. Then Eddie Morris, Dave Hartney, Devin Butchino, Todd Mays, Zach Cox, Kyle Mays, Logan. You see the battle there between Bobby Mays and Brandon White. Bobby just barely sneaking out. Rosenberger, Mark Shavers, Craig Schroeder. See Joseph Reif coming off pit road. I do want to check the 82 here. So it looks like the 82 did have a reset, so he's going to be able to get back in this race. Take a look at the 74 of Brian Merle Jr. Also had a reset, so that truck is going to be cleaned back up and ready to race. Richard Knight just making his way down on the pit road. A lot of damage to that 98 machine. Seeing if he had a reset here, if he can get that truck fixed up. I see my timing and scoring has stopped working here. So bear with me just a moment. As I see if I can get this back up and running. So as the field gets side by side, again, my timing and scoring at the top of the screen has stopped working for a moment. I'm going to see if I can get that fixed up for us here. So bear with me just a moment. As the field makes their way off of turn number 4, green flag back in the air. Stephen Black back out into the lead here. A little further back, we've got great battles as Hartney taking a look to the outside. Eddie Morris. Ooh, Eddie gets loose off of the corner. Able to keep it going though. Zachary Cox making a move now underneath the 9 of Todd Mays, trying to take that position away. Here comes Kyle Mays into the mix as well. Do bear with me for a minute as I'm trying to get this scoring situation fixed on my end. As Hartney has the 9 of Todd Mays up on the high side. We'll get that time and scoring back up in a moment under our next caution. As Kyle Mays now taking it 3 wide through turns off of turn number 2, and stuck in the middle is that 43 of David Hartney. And now it's Mays boys side by side as Kyle trying to get around Todd Mays here, and Kyle's going to move himself up into the 5th position. Zachary Cox is going to move up into 8th. Again, I do apologize for the scoring situation. We'll get that fixed up again if we get another caution here. For now, I'll just let you know where everybody's running as Logan Hagerman is battling with Zachary Cox. Cox in 8th, Hagerman in 9th, and Hagerman trying to use that high lane to his advantage here, but just not able to do it just yet. Up front, Stephen Black is running away as Zachary Cox now taking a look down underneath the 43. And now the 43 of Hartney trying to fight back to the inside of Uncle Todd. They are side by side. A lot of damage to the right side of both those trucks. And no, Uncle Todd almost gets back up into the wall again. But he's able to keep that truck under control as the 43 of David Hartney moves up into the 6th position. Todd thought about making a look back to the inside, wasn't able to. Now Zachary Cox and Logan Hagerman side by side yet again. So Cox pushes up the track just a little bit. They continue to run side by side for the 8th position. This time looks like Cox is going to have the good run off the corner. And I thought Cox was going to give a little slide job there, but not able to do it, as this time coming off of turn number 2, Cox will complete the slide and move himself up into the 8th position. Now Logan Hagerman has Bobby Mays to contend with, as Bobby is trying to move himself up into that 9th position. And Logan having a little difficulties here in this part of the run, sliding in the wrong direction. We're right along here with the 7 of Logan Hagerman. Here's the 9 of Mays now looking up on the high side. Not able to get that run off the corner. So Hagerman's going to have a bit of smooth sailing here. Up front, there's a little battle here between Eddie Morris and Kyle Mays. Kyle has caught Eddie, and Kyle's trying to take with that 4th position away. Again, if you just tuned in, yes, the scoring has stopped working on my end. We'll try to get that fixed up if we have another yellow. Right now, we are just past halfway. Stephen Black just took lap number 55. There's a battle back here between Zachary Cox, David Hartney, and Todd Mays. Ooh, Cox pounds it into the corner. Almost catches the 9 of Todd Mays there. And Bobby Mays and Logan Hagerman continue to battle at it. But up here, we've got almost some 3 wide races. Zach Cox is way down on the apron. These 3 are running 3 completely different lines. And it's been a hard battle back here as Uncle Todd's trying to get by that 43 machine. We're talking about how unique this track really is. And it's a tough track, even though it doesn't look like it'd be all that tough. Coming off of turn number 2, there's a really big dip in the track really upsets the truck. As you come down the backstretch, there's a section of the track where the road course comes back into the oval. It's a little bumpy there. Even though it's a straightaway, it can upset the trucks there as well. And then going into turn number 3, there's some bumps into the braking zone. It can really start wheel hopping these trucks and get them really out of shape. There's a battle back here between the 82 of Joe Wright and the 19 of Brandon White. As Joe's able to move himself up into 11th. And he's on fresh tires and a clean truck, and he's moving himself through the field here as he's trying to catch up to the battle in front of him between Logan Hagerman and Bobby Mays. Zachary Cox taking a look down underneath Todd Mays yet again. Cox trying to run that apron, which is, again, a legal move. You can do that down there. There's no out of bounds here at New Hampshire. And as I mentioned before, it can really help turn the truck. It's not as easy to get the power down off the corner, but you see Zach able to stay right there alongside the 43 of David Hartney. As he hooks that yellow line, does a little slide job up in front of the 43. Now the 43 is going to try to take a look down back underneath, but Cox beats him off the corner, and Hartney is going to have to settle currently for that 7th position as Zachary Cox is on a tear right now through the field. Being a tears through the field, Brandon White just got back around the 82 of Joseph Wright, so these two have been going at it back and forth for the last few laps. While Logan Hagerman and Bobby Mays are still keeping tabs on each other as well. Up front, Stephen Black still has quite the lead over second place Brian Knuty. It's about a second and a half back to the 40 machine. And then another 2 seconds back to the 68 of Devin Buchino. As Buchino's trying to work around the lap truck of the 98 of Richard Knights. Knight's going to let him right on by. That's going to bring Kyle Mays into the picture here. And New Hampshire's a tough track to deal with lap traffic too. We saw how difficult it is to pass here as Kyle Mays gets around the 98 with ease. Now Brandon White trying to run up to the back bumper of Logan Hagerman. And Brandon White trying to get himself up into the top 10, as we just heard. I think that was Joe Wright just bounced off the wall. Well, maybe it wasn't Wright bouncing off the wall. Somebody bounced off the wall just behind this group as this battle is raging back here between Rosenberger, Mark Shavers, Craig Schroeder, Nick Mather back here as well. Nick is multiple laps down. He's 2 laps down. As we see Todd Mays working down underneath the lap truck. Now David Hartney trying to get by as well. Saw a little contact between these drivers earlier as the 98 lets the 43 right on by. Just behind this, we see Brandon White taking a look down underneath Logan Hagerman. So move Brandon White up into the top 10 officially, as Michael Rosenberger and Craig Schroeder battle side by side down the front stretch, and Schroeder's going to take that position Although here comes Rosenberger fighting back on the high side. Mark Shavers in the mix here as well. And Brian Merrill Jr., who was in an incident not too long ago, he's trying to work his way back into this race. A caution would help him out incredibly, as we just started lap number 67 of 90. As we are just under 25 laps to go. And this is the part of the race where things are starting to heat up, as Joseph Wright now gets around Logan Hagerman to take over that 11th position. And Bobby Mays has the 19 of Brandon White all over his back bumper. Another battle heating up is Devin Butchno has Kyle Mays running him down. Last time by, Mays was just a little bit quicker than that 68 machine. As the 19 of Brandon White moves around Bobby Mays here to take over that 9th position. Craig Schroeder trying to run down Logan Hagerman here down the backstretch, and Schroeder's going to take a look down to the inside. Hagerman's forced up on that high side yet again and moves Schroeder up into the 12th position. Your biggest mover of the race so far, though, is the 19 of Brandon White. Currently up 14 positions from where he started, and just behind him, with 12 positions gained since the start, is the 5 of Bobby Mays. So these two drivers right here on screen, the two biggest movers of the race. Now Stephen Black comes down the backstretch. And Stephen Black sounds like he's struggling a little bit, just running much slower lap times than he had been all race long. That time by, he just ran a 31.82. Although Brian Newton did run a 31.90. So I guess times are pretty even between our top three. Devin Butchno just ran a 31.87. Currently our fastest driver on the track is the 4 of Craig Schroeder, just ran a 31.59. And second fastest on the track right now is the 51 of Zachary Cox, just ran a 31.64. As we see the 4 coming up on the back bumper of Joseph Wright. Wright's going to stay up, sees that faster truck, says, "You're a bit faster than me, I'll just let you on by." As Stephen Black makes his way off of turn number 2. And when he crosses the line this time by, we'll have just 15 laps to go. Zachary Cox, Kyle Mays, I mentioned Cox coming with a head of steam. Taking a look down underneath the 55 of Kyle Mays, we see Derek Chaput going a lap down to teammate Devin Butchno. And Cox still working that apron, makes it 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Just not able to clear Kyle Mays in that 55 machine. So there's Devin Butchno back in third, Kyle Mays fourth, Zach Cox fifth. All running in line here with less than 15 laps to go. Cox taking a look down to the inside yet again. Almost 3 wide here as Kyle Mays was trying to make a move on Butchino. And Zachary Cox is going to take that position away from Kyle Mays. So move Cox up into the 4th position. Now he's going to set his sights on Butchino. You see, Cox is running a whole lot of rear brake, really sliding that truck down into the corner. That's where he's able to generate all that speed, plus running that apron, helping that truck turn as well. Heating up that right rear tire and helping that truck rotate. And that's where he's been able to gain all of his speed here tonight. He's been able to get down into the corner a little bit deeper than everybody, using the apron to rotate the truck. As you see, he's side by side with 3rd place Butchino. Cox pounds it back into the inside yet again of Devin. Oh, gets loose there off the corner as well. That allows Devin to take the run off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. And Kyle Mays coming back into this mix as well with that little slip up from the 51. 10 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Again, I do apologize for the timing and scoring on the screen. So what I can do for you guys and get a little, see if I can. There we go, 9 laps to go. We'll do this for you. There we go. Now we got some time to score him back. So Zachary Cox able to move himself up into that 3rd position. But he's got almost 3.5 seconds to catch Brian Canuti, so unless a caution comes out, or Canuti makes a giant mistake, looks like Zachary Cox is going to have his work cut out for him here. Brian Merle Jr. taking a look. He's battling here with the 3 of Michael Rosenberger. 72 on the ticker, but 3 on the screen. Eddie Morris under attack currently from the 43 of David Hartney. Morris was having such a great run, but falling back the last few laps. It's a tight battle through turns 1 and 2. down into turns 3 and 4. And Brandon White right here in the mix as well. So 3 trucks under a blanket as we have just 4 laps to go here at New Hampshire. And Morris is going to have to give up that position to Hartney. Now can he keep Brandon White behind him? But a great finish, looking like he's going to have a top 10 finish here in that 8 machine tonight. Brandon White gets really loose off of turn number 2. And I mentioned that earlier. There's that big bump. It's really easy to get loose off of 2. Stephen Black is continuing to stretch his lead. Now 5 seconds over Stephen Black as Derek Chaput makes it 3 wide. And I believe Chaput is just on pit road. Yeah, he's currently scored in the 20th position. Last on pit road. Well, it says lap number 82. So yeah, the 37 was just on pit road. And you can see what those fresh tires are doing for that 37 machine as he was just able to drive on by everybody with ease. As Stephen Black comes across the line. 2 laps to go here at New Hampshire. As long as we don't get a caution here, it'll be smooth sailing for this 18 machine. As Brandon White continues to look down or try to get around the 8 of Eddie Morris. Coming off of turn number 4, white flag is in the air for Stephen Black. Just 1 more mile to go for the 18 Premier Toyota. And pretty much on cruise control for the next 2 corners as Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence back through the grass on the backstretch. But that's not going to matter as Stephen Black makes his way off of turn number 4. And Stephen Black is going to win it here at New Hampshire. Brian Canuti comes across the line in second. Zachary Cox running down Canuti. Had a chance there, got within a second. He's going to come home in third. Devin Butchino comes home fourth. Kyle Mays, your 5th place here at New Hampshire. Stephen Black brings it around to the front stretch. And getting ready to celebrate here. Couple drivers just finishing up their lap. As he burns it down here on the granite stripe here at the front stretch. And let's take a look at your final results. Stephen Black with the win. Brian Canuti comes home second. Zachary Cox in third. Devin Butchino and Kyle Mays round out your top 5. Todd Mays comes home in 6th with David Hartney in 7th. Eddie Morris in 8th. Brandon White in 9th. And Craig Schroeder comes home in the 10th position. Bobby Mays comes home 11th with Joseph Wright rebounding for 12th. Logan Hagerman 13th. Brian Merle Jr. and Michael Rosenberger round out your top 15. 16th is Mark Shavers with Eli Raposa back in 17th. Sylvan Scoyne in the 18th position. 19th, Derek Chaput. Michael Provolt comes home 20th. Nick Mather 21st. Cheeseburger Lawrence and Richard Knight round out the rest of the field here at New Hampshire. As we get ready to talk to your top 3. Let's bring in your 3rd place finisher, Zachary Cox.
Hey.
Zach, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, man. How's it going?
Man, it's going well. You didn't have me beating on you around the track here tonight, so able to get a good finish here. No, I'm playing around. Me and Zach have had some run-ins here, but it's all in good fun. I like joking around at least. But great run here. Coming home 3rd, showing a lot of speed there in the late race. And using that line that I used last year, run the apron. How did running that apron really benefit you here tonight?
Oh, definitely. I ran that last time swapped over last season, about halfway through the race, and noticed that, especially on the later runs on your tires when they start wearing out, that's probably one of the best lines you can run.
Yeah, that's for sure. And man, it definitely saved your tires. It got you the podium here tonight. And it looked like you're running a lot of brake bias too. That truck was really sliding around in the corners. Uh, how difficult was it to keep the truck underneath you sliding around that much?
Not too bad. New tires, it was a handful, especially come off the turns, because I'd sit there and want to jump on the gas, and sometimes just didn't like it. So, but yeah, for the most part, it was pretty stable because the car would just the truck would start sliding going into the turn and just kind of plant itself and allow me to get off the turn pretty quick.
Well, a great job here tonight, coming home in third. And before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give here tonight?
Yes, I have to give a shout out to my wife, my kids, the rest of my family. I know I got some guys at work watching probably. They said they're going to tune in tonight, so give a shout out to them and to Canudi for running this league. It's definitely been pretty fun. It's definitely been pushing me, and then of course y'all up here in Tennessee Broadcasting up in the booth every Tuesday and Wednesday nights doing what you do. You guys have a great broadcast, and enjoy watching it. Kind of glance down when we're racing.
Well, awesome, man, and great job here tonight. It's nice to see you up in the top three, and look forward to Texas tomorrow night with the Xfinity Series with you.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. So
All right,
be fun.
we'll talk to you later, and try to keep everybody on the boat under control.
I will, man. Y'all take it easy.
Have a great one. So that was your second place finisher, Zachary Cox. Let's bring in your third place finisher, Zachary Cox. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Brian Canudi. Brian, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, buddy. What's happening?
Man, you were saying before the race how much you hated this track, how you couldn't figure out how these guys were so fast. You put down a blazer there to get the pole, and then run second behind Stephen Black the entire race. I know Black was kind of the class of the field here tonight, but respectable finish in second. What was the secret? What did you figure out here to finally get yourself around this track well?
I actually watched a YouTube video, and that's how I set my brake bias, and I just learned what I was doing wrong on the entry.
You heard it here first, YouTube. So next week we'll see the Brian Nudie YouTube truck out on track. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to get yourself in position to have a chance to win here. And I know you're probably hoping for a late race caution there to try to get another shot at Steven there. So how much did you think you might have got a late race caution, or do you think it was just going to go green the rest of the way?
I was worried that there would be a late race caution, but super late to the point to where now you're really starting to think, like, do I pit? Like, I'm basically going to lose this race, but how can I come up with the best possible outcome? And then I was like, well, man, if there's a caution with, like, say 10, 15 laps to go, I could maybe pit and maybe I can beat Stephen off of pit road. And, I really had nothing for him, so the only way I was going to beat him was just on strategy. So I knew that he class of the field all night. I don't know how I got him in qualifying, but yeah, all in all, it was a good run.
Well, again, a great run for you here tonight. And before you let you go, anyone want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, give a shout out to you up in the booth, do an awesome job. Also, Stephen Black on his win. And then Zachary Cox for getting up on the podium tonight. That was pretty cool. And then I got to thank my beautiful wife for letting me do this. And as always, I got to thank Gill's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria, the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium. And as we move to Darlington next week, how do you like your chances there?
I love Darlington. That's one of my top 3 favorite tracks in the game.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to...
Sorry, Stim.
I'll let it slide this time. But we look forward to seeing your run next week at Darlington.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
As your second place finisher, Brian Canudi. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Stephen Black. Stephen, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
What's up, Josh? How's it going?
Man, it's been a while since I talked to you up here in the booth, but great run here tonight. Coming home with the win, dominating performance. Had that truck on rails all night long. And What can you credit to just getting around this track? What's the secret to getting around this track as well as you were tonight?
I did a little bit of practice last night, and I love New Hampshire, so I feel like it was a track I could come in and do well at, and I don't know, it's just a track that I've always been pretty good at, and I like the shifting and actually having to wheel the truck around. So I think that coupled with the practice that I did last night really helped me out big time tonight.
Oh, we were giving you a little crap last week. I know you hate the super speedway, so bouncing back here at New Hampshire, you must have been thinking though towards the end of the race that there might have been a late race caution there. How prepared were you if the caution did come out, and did you have a strategy just in case it did?
I was banking on just making it a one-stop race before that first caution came out, just so I could have that set of tires at the end, just in case a caution did come out. Obviously, it was really hard to pass here, so I think if it was, I think if it had come out kind of too late, I feel like people wouldn't have come in, and I would have been just stuck in the back, and I would have been having to slide job people to make up spots. So it's just one of those things. I didn't want to see a caution at all, but I was prepared for it with that set of tires in the pits, and yeah.
Yeah, we know how late race cautions have bitten you in the past, so I know that had to be on the back of your mind. But again, congrats with the win tonight. Before we let you go, anyone want to shout out any thanks you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to you and the guys at Intensity for broadcasting us every week and letting folks watch what we do out here at night. And shout out to Nudie for running the league and Sylvan as well for the points and helping out running the league. And shout out to Premier Racing Setups. It's code Black15. You get 15% off at checkout. Shout out to Grandma Hagerman. I hope she's watching tonight and hope she's doing well. And Cody Moore. I don't know what he's doing on Tuesday nights, but I hope he's okay down at the soup kitchen.
Well, we appreciate you giving us a shout out as well. Congratulations on the win. And how do you like your chances tomorrow night at New Hampshire? Excuse me, I texted you. Run the Xfinity tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm gonna run tomorrow night. I haven't put any laps in on it yet, but I plan on doing so before we jump in tomorrow night.
And more importantly, how do you like your chances at Darlington next week here in the trucks?
I won't be here. I gotta work.
Oh, well, there you have it. So Nudie's not going to have much of a battle next week as Steven's not going to be around. Well, good luck at work. Hopefully we'll see you again in a couple weeks. And congratulations once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, there you have it. Your winner tonight, Stephen Black. Again, thank you for joining us here tonight. This was the SCSRA Fortuna Iron Truck Series here on Intensity Broadcasting on iRacing. I do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to follow and subscribe, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Really would appreciate that. Helps us out. As well as check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. Check out Fortuna Iron, the link down in the description as well. And as always, from everybody here at Intensity Broadcasting, once again, thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Atman Weiss will have the call right here on Intensity for the SCSRA Xfinity Series. So check that out. And as always, as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over